Pulling out the tablet and the cell phone for this one. This is a request from Patreon member Ty the Phoenix. Both of us played this game as a kid. We played this game together a few times, Dynasty Warriors. I'm personally a fan favorite of Samurai Warriors, one of my favorite games to ever play, Samurai Warriors 2 Empires. And Koei produced the video game. Well, in 2021, on Netflix, we get the Dynasty Warriors movie, the video game movie that's based off the Three Kingdom period back in ancient China and the warring times between the Han Dynasty and the Jin Dynasty. I believe I got that right. That's what this movie's about, and you're following a bunch of characters that are from the video game and you get to see them on the small screen. And you know, video game movies have never really hit hard. Unfortunately, Dynasty Warriors fall into the same trap. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What's up, world? Welcome to the episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. And what is Movie Breakdowns? A movie review series. We look at new and old movies, give them grade A through F, plus and minuses do count. And there's a movie you want me to review, let me know. Please put in the comment section below and I get to it as fast as I can. Also on Patreon, Patreon/Ali Zakka. And on Patreon, you can jump in front of everybody because you're paying for my services. $2 a month. And you get to cut in front of anybody, request me to review anything. And on top of that, you get trade reaction, trade reviews, and much more stuff, my side comments, stuff like that. Now, let's go ahead and get into today's review of Dynasty Warriors 2021 that's on Netflix currently. And I do want to mention, this first part is going to be non-spoilers, and then the second half I'm just going to spoil stuff because why not? This is what you came here for. So, Dynasty Warriors 2021 that is currently on Netflix, directed by Roy Cho. I believe I had that right. If not, I'm going to pop it up one more time to make sure I have it right. Okay, I want to make sure. Yeah, Roy Chow, sorry. C-H-O-W, Chow, Roy Chow. He directed this movie and produced it. And this movie had a budget of $3.31 million. And I'm trying to think like any positive about this movie, and I will tell you what the storyline is about. The storyline is about three soldiers or three warriors, and they are trying to reunite China. And while they're trying to do this, they meet other soldiers and leaders who want to do the same thing, plus fight a giant boss and a very popular character in the video game. We fight a giant boss who's considered one of the strongest soldiers of all time, who stands in their way, and they try to take out a vicious ruler on top of that. Pretty much based off of the Three Kingdoms period, like I mentioned in my opener, of ancient China. Okay, that's pretty much the storyline. And thoughts? I would say the movie does have songs from the video game. I will give that as props. That's pretty cool, going back to your source material and using the music from the video game. When certain characters appear, they also appear, their theme song appear. For example, Lu Bu is on the cover of the movie on Netflix, and his music is playing. When you see him on the screen and he fights in a battle, his music is playing. I give props to that. That's pretty cool there. In animation, you know, this is a live action movie. The CGI it looks very video game-esque. Like, it is really video game-esque. You can see it from the first opening fight scene of the movie. It is not the strongest. There's times where certain scenes look completely computer animated, and there's times where you see it's like, hell, that looks pretty cool. I will give it the props of the characters. The character designs of each person looks amazing. You know who they are. You know that's Lu Bu. You know that's Liu Bei. You know that's Cao Cao. You know who they are based off of what they look like in the movie compared to the video game counterpart. So there's no complaint there, or no like they didn't look like the person. No, they look like their person. This is not like Dragon Ball Evolution. They actually look like their counterpart. But the CGI, one thing that kills me with this, and the storyline's not that strong. They introduce so many characters because they want to bring in the video game aspect of it. Because the video game has, 50 plus characters in the video game. The movie does the same thing, and it's hard to follow. You get 3 soldiers to begin the movie that you're following, or 3 warriors that you're following, and then they help out one guy, okay, you get to meet him, and then they cut to a whole nother person, and then you follow this person's story for 20, 30 minutes, and then you go back to the other guys who now you're like, why are they there? Like, they say, but where they come from, we just believe they met off camera, and then it's like, oh, here is the bodyguard you gotta fight at the end of the movie, and pretty much it's just a hodgepodge of CGI and battle elements and colors and power boosts and all this other stuff that mixed together. You're just like, what is happening? Why is it happening? Okay, sure. So that's one thing. As far as the storyline goes, it's not cohesive. If they just picked one warrior to follow versus throwing in all these other warriors and be like, okay, we'll talk about this dude for 30 minutes. We'll talk about that guy for 20 minutes. Talk about this guy for another 15 minutes. They just follow one set of warriors and just let their journey be all the way through, versus like, well, we're going to introduce this character, and oh yeah, don't forget about the people you saw at the beginning of the movie. They'll come back around, but like when they come back around, just like, okay. And some prophecy as well as in this movie, because why not? It's not a good movie. I've seen worse though. It's just, they tried. I would say that. They tried. They tried. Characters, cast, let's go ahead and get into it. You got Kai Wang, sorry. I'm about to mess some names up here, so I do want to apologize for that, guys. But Kai Wang, who plays Cao Cao, I thought he did fine. To be honest, as far as the acting goes, a lot of it was voiced over for some people. In 2021, like, unless you're doing a throwback to, those old 1970s and 80s, martial arts movies, they don't need to have really bad dubbed English in this movie, because some of the dub for this movie and for characters was like, really? There's one scene where this dude is laughing and his mouth is not moving, and I was like, why? Why they didn't have to add the laughter there? Like, at least show his mouth moving. He wasn't moving his mouth. He was just smiling, and he had laughter over it. And I was like, oh God, no. What is this movie? Why am I watching this? And before I even get to that part about how long this movie is, I do want to go back to the rest of the cast though. So I would say that Kai Wang looked like Cao Cao. You have Juan Yu, who is played by Jing Han. He once again looked like his character counterpart. Like, he didn't miss the beat there. You have Tony Yo Ning Yang, who played Liu Bei. Thought he did a good job. And Louis Cole, who played Lu Bu. Thought he also, for what they was given, did a solid job. Justin Chang, or Ching, Cheung, Chang. Sorry, man. He plays Zhang Fi. once again thought they looked like their counterparts. Like, I think the actors look like their characters. They look like who they supposed to look like. They got that down right. And Dong Zhou, or Zhu, who is played by Suet Lam, once again, he looks like his counterpart. It's just that the writing for these people wasn't good. The writing for the characters wasn't good. But as far as the costume design, this movie gets an A on that. Costume design is phenomenal. Everything else is not great. The movie itself is an hour and 59 minutes long. I think they could have shaved off another 20 minutes, to be honest. It didn't need to be that long. And some bright spots in the movie, I did like the fact where you had, I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much tell this part of the movie though, but you had Liu Bei, Zhang Fi, and Juan Yu, where they were trying to like show their worth to the other leaders in this movie, and they went and took on one of the bad guys. I did like that part. That was kind of a cool part to show that, hey, we can hang with the rest of you guys. We might not have an army, but we're just as strong as the rest of you guys. I do like that part right there. That was kind of cool. And for the most part, like Cao Cao's background was solid. I do like they introduced it, but like I felt like it was out of place. If the movie was about Cao Cao, I've been fine with that, but it wasn't. It was like they were trying to add so many characters at once, and I don't think it flowed well because of that. This movie could be called Dynasty Warriors, but you could have at least picked one person to focus on, and maybe Cao Cao and Liu Bei and his brothers could have just been with him throughout the movie, where you got this growth between them, where you didn't need Cao Cao's background to really show, you know, why they meet up. But you had them meet on this background, and you're like, okay, maybe you could have had it where Liu Bei and them found Cao Cao and they joined in battle with him at one point, and then Cao Cao's like, who are you guys? And they're like, oh, we got this, you know, letter, and they could have gone on a backstory there on how they came across to rescue Cao Cao. Or you could have showed, I guess they did show it, but it just seemed out of place. To me, the movie seemed a little out of place. And it was kind of hard for me to watch, to be honest. I finished it. CGI wasn't the strongest. Yeah. They tried. I give them props for that. Alright. Is this a Friday night movie? No, it's not. And grading time. I'm going to grade Dynasty Warriors 2021 a D. This movie gets a D for me. It's okay at best. It's not bad. It's not good. It's not great. It's not awesome. And it's not an F movie. I would say that. Like, it's not. Like, it would have been an F if they didn't try to add the music into it, or didn't make the characters look like what they're supposed to look like. It's a D because of the fact the character design was solid and the music was solid, but the story felt a little clunky. It didn't pace well. And there's certain things that happen that, like, okay, this is happening, why? I guess, okay, sure. And you also have the animation and CGI into the movie wasn't that great. It looked very video game-esque. And on top of that, the final fight scene is not that great. I'll talk about that in my spoiler review, as well as the dubbing for certain characters. You can definitely see that the dub did not try to match the words or the mouths of certain characters, and it's really like bothersome at certain points. If you guys seen the movie Dynasty Warriors 2021, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, stick around for the spoilers section, because it's about to start in 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, spoiler section is going on now. To be honest, I really don't know how much of spoilers I can really gonna give. If you play the video games, I guess you know how the storyline goes. If not, So the movie starts off with a huge fight, a huge battle, and matter of fact, I wanted the character that opens it up is in this. No, he's not. He's not in this. In this little article I have here of each character, but it's a pretty big fight of the two battles, and the CGI in it is really, it's just not that strong. But you get to meet Liu Bei and them. They come in and rescue and save the day, and then they just dip, and then they go into this forest and meet this lady who then goes on this huge backstory of Cao and gives Cao's backstory. She didn't even meet the guy yet, and the third brother's like, oh, we gotta go fight this guy. Okay, cool. We gotta go find, not fight, but go find Cao. And Cao's backstory, and has him fighting Lu Bu, and that scene is definitely not the strongest. There's a horse battle through the trees, and glass is breaking, and it looks really, really bad. Like bad CGI. Like, dude. We're talking 1990s CGI, video game-esque, early 2000s CGI, like 2021, better. You should be better than that. And one of the scenes I like when Guan Yu, I believe that's his name. I think I said it right this time without looking. Yes, Guan Yu, who fights an officer of Dong Zhuo's army. It was a pretty cool fight. I do like that fight scene. CGI still not strong, but I like the choreograph and the fight there. That was a good fight scene. But you pretty much get Liu Bei and them deciding to get everybody to join their side, and they join. They join and fight with Cao and his group, and they have this over the top battle at the end. I guess is based off the video game powers and abilities, but the movie doesn't really show why they got these powers. They just have it, or why a sorcerer can bring people to zombies, turn people into zombies. It just happens. I get it's based off the video game. The video game is a video game. You're not really expecting much. Of course, it's gonna have powers because you're gonna make it exciting. But when a movie does it, you're just like, how do we get these powers? Okay. Sure. And they have like text on the movie like screen where you have to read like paragraphs in certain spots of the movie that don't help the movie at all. The final fight between Liu Bei, Liu Bei, Guan Yu and Zhang Fi, the final fight between those guys is just literally animation, CGI, colors all over the place. It's hard to really tell what's going on. They unlock their special abilities. Once again, I get what you're going for. You're going for the video game, but it's just not the strongest. And yeah, the movie ends with Liu Bei coming on top, and then Liu Bei and Cao have a conversation about what each one thinks the future should go, and they're gonna set up a sequel. That's it. That's the spoilers I'm gonna talk about. It's a D, guys. This movie's a D. Once again, if they didn't try to at least match the character style of the video game and music that they toss into, this would have been D minus F. But no, this is a D movie because of that. I'm really curious to see what diehard fans of Dynasty Warriors say. I'm a huge Samurai Warriors fan, but I really want to know what the huge diehard fans say about this. Sorry, not huge diehard Dynasty Warriors fans think of this movie. So if you've seen this review and you love Dynasty Warriors, please put in the comment section below. Tell me what your thoughts are. For me, it didn't hit home. I watched it and I was like, man, this is rough to get through. But maybe for somebody who loves the series, who loves the video game, this might be your I'm gonna say Lion King, but I feel like Lion King is a really great movie, or Forrest Gump, or Get Out. I feel like those really great movies. Does Dynasty Warriors equal that? I don't know. I don't think it does. To me, I've seen much better movies come out in 2021 with better CGI. Heck, the movie Invisible Man, or Invisible Man from 2019, that had a budget of $7 million, had a better CGI animation than this movie. And I love some video games. I can give props where props is due. This one didn't hit. So if you guys seen this movie, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys next episode of Movie Breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, you want to see what else I'm doing in my normal life and other things that's going on, please follow me on Instagram at Ali_Zakka. I'll put it right here around my face. Yep, right there. Also, if you want more episodes of movie breakdowns or grind towards success or whatever it is I'm doing on YouTube, you know what? Follow my page right here, like I said before, the little comment thing right there, And then you can watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns right here, and watch the last episode of Grind Towards Success right there. Other than that, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate y'all. See y'all next time. Keep being awesome.